Time now for another segment here on ETBU Extra at goetbtigers.com on the ETBU Sportsnet. Thank you for joining us today live from CC's Pizza in Marshall, Texas. And if you're in Marshall, Harrison County on Wednesdays from noon to 1, come to CC's during the noon hour and get the buffet and the drink for just $5. And you can watch the show happening live. Thank you, though, for clicking in and listening this afternoon. Time now to bring in head coach Bert West of the ETU Tigers, who finished the year at 26-6, losing their last game of the season in the NCAA national tournament. And Coach West, when you started out the year, did you believe that your team would finish so far?
Well, it's hard to answer. I'm wearing my umbrella on my head. It's raining outside, and it was raining in my heart 3 years ago when this group of seniors arrived. We had high hopes. With the next class that arrived, my hopes were really high, and I don't know, they just didn't seem to get it, and they just couldn't finish games. We gave away as many games as we won, and then the next year, about halfway through the season, it was still the same thing, and I really had thought this team would be really good, but it just took longer than I expected, and when they got it, which was near the end of last year, you could see the light come on, and they were moving, and they were quickly getting better. And last year when UT Dallas put us out of the conference tournament, UT Dallas was one of the 3 or 4 best teams in the nation last year, and we fought them tooth and nail. And it was a 15-point loss that was really much closer, and we all knew then. And the kids worked hard in the off season and came back better. And boy, they just welded together into a group. And we always talk about the strength of the wolf is the pack, and the strength of the pack is the wolf. And what a great team they became. And so the answer is no, I'm not surprised. I was expecting us to be really good 2 years ago. It just took a little longer. But boy, when they got it, they got it all the way. They were really a great team with all capital letters.
Of course, at the beginning of the season in the American Southwest Conference preseason poll, the Tigers were picked to finish 7th in the conference, but a lot of team accomplishments this year. One, you won the American Southwest Conference regular season championship, won the championship tournament, 26 wins, second most in program history, 10-game winning streak, program best, 8-0 start, program best at the beginning, second longest home winning streak in NCAA Division III at 22, and your first ever NCAA Division III national tournament experience. And talk about these team accomplishments. That's one thing that fans have noticed on the court. One thing I've noticed being the Tiger broadcaster, when you went into a game, it never was one individual. It was a team working together, but maybe an individual would rise to the top. But it would seem all season long it was a different individual bringing your team to victory.
Well, I'm trying to answer that like this. The first thing, when the poll came out, when we picked 7th, I sent Irby Thompson, one of our team leaders, said, "Did you see where we're ranked in the poll, preseason pick?" He came back and he said, "Yes, Coach, that just made me laugh out loud. They don't even know about that freight train that's about to run through this league." And so I still have that on my text. I still have that message. I kept it all that time and never told the kids about it until the end of the season. I shared what he had said after we accomplished it, and I told them what their leader had said before we ever started. So that being said, there's an old saying that it is amazing what can be accomplished when nobody cares who gets the credit. And that pretty much describes this group. And everyone had a role. Everyone had a job to do. And, you know, roles can evolve and change. And sometimes your role can even change during the game. And they were always alert and ready to do whatever the team needed them to do. So it's just it's the way it's supposed to be. It's just really difficult. You don't see it. It's rare to see a team be a team all the time.
Let's go back to that last game of the season, the league game that you played against Wisconsin, Stevens Point. They were the host school. You lost 45-28. Since I've gotten back to campus after being with the team, people ask me, what happened in the game? So I'm just going to take it to the coach.
Okay.
Coach, your assessment of what happened in that ball game for the Tigers.
Well, when you have a team that averages 76 points a game, like we do, and then you see a 28 on the board, what in the world? Well, we did not have a bad game. We did not play poorly. Our kids played the way they always play. The style of play, the physicality of the play was something that was allowed. So we're not making any excuses. There is no excuse. They were really good, and they were really good at the way the game was played. We don't practice that way. We've not ever seen it that way. When we got up there, we were physically, I'm going to say, maybe a little superior to Northwestern, St. Paul. And so that it didn't affect us, but I could see the really strong Emory team get pounded by these guys. And I saw how it was called, and I said, we're in trouble because we've not had an opportunity to prepare for that. Coach Prather, as I've said before, the best assistant coach in the country. And I told him, I said, you got an hour to prepare, help me prepare for this. And
that's right. They have an hour to practice on the day of the game to prepare.
And there was no need to even address it. They saw it. We talked about it a little bit, and we did the best we could. And so it's not I don't know what we can do in our league. I'm going to talk to the assignment secretary and different things. They've got to turn our kids loose a little bit more because we were not allowed to go set a screen. They would just latch onto you and push and shove and force you away, so we could get no timing on offense. We couldn't run our offense. All the post players, you know where the neck of your jersey is supposed to be? The neck of their jersey was halfway down their chest from people just latching on and holding on. And that's a foul where we come from. But again, we're not making excuses. They allowed us to play that way too. We just weren't good at it. We'd not played that way. And anytime you go in and play a strong opponent with a great defense, and then they're extra physical too, you're just at a disadvantage. We held them 21 points below their scoring average. We held them to their lowest point total, I think, for the season. We held them to their lowest shooting percentage for the season and got beat. Mm-hmm. So you can't say that our kids did not play well. We just weren't as good at playing that way as they were. And like I said, no excuses. That's the way it was, and we had the same opportunity they had. We just didn't have the opportunity to prepare for that.
Visiting with head coach Bert West, the Tigers, talking about the trip through the NCAA National Tournament, ending at the Elite Eight game last Saturday. Coach, fun question for you now. Great experience for the whole team traveling to play in the tournament up in Wisconsin. But the most craziest thing you saw while up there, or the funniest thing that you saw while you were up there, just something that had said, hey, I'm going to talk about this for the rest of my life. Obviously, the trip up there is going to be talked about the rest of life about your coaching staff as well as the players, but something that you saw from a coaching standpoint that you just really liked.
Oh, gosh.
It could be anything.
Maybe when I fell off the bus when we were arriving to the first practice, maybe it was getting to be treated so kindly, respectfully by Hall of Famer Jack Bennett, the coach. He was so gracious and exchanged numbers. He called and checked on me twice already since we've been home. That I'm honored and humbled that a man of his knowledge and stature and reputation took the time for me, and he was searching me out. That's sort of a highlight for me, and that's better than any award. Someone that you look forward to hoping to meet one day, and then he is that kind of a person. That was fantastic. Getting on the charter plane to come home and looking, and all the kids are sitting in where they always sit on the bus. That was a funny thing. But spending time with you was great.
Same here, Coach.
Getting to spend time when I know we were all working, but at the same time, getting to spend time with Adam Ledyard, and just a little bit of, we're all working, but at the same time we're together. Kent Reeves, it was a highlight to watch how hard he worked for us. Oh, my Lord. Coach Reeves did so much. He took so much off of me that I didn't have to concern myself with. And I'll be forever grateful for the trainers, all the support staff. I tell the players I love them and how much I appreciate them every day. But the support staff, I don't get the opportunity to thank y'all as much as I want to. And the training staff and Adam Ledyard, Kent Reeves, Mike Midkiff, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all very much.
Coach, last question. What do you think you'll take away from this season?
I think the knowledge that it pays to stay the course, it pays to do things right, and it always pays to work with good people.
Well, Coach, congratulations on a great season. A lot of people's lives were changed watching the Tigers play this year.
Well, if any little thing we did along that way, it would be just an extra blessing for us. Thank y'all.
All right, Coach Bert West of the ETB Tigers, the American Southwest Conference champions, as well as an Elite Eight finalist in the NCAA Division III National Tournament. So we've got more to come here on ETB Extra Live from CC's in Marshall, Texas. We're going to talk Tiger baseball next. So you join us next. We're going to, like I said, we're going to dip our microphones down and get head coach Jared Hood in here and talk Tiger baseball in a moment on ETB Extra.